Okay, let's see here, friends. Okay, awesome. So if you're watching this playback back, some may tune in, some may not, but I want it to be outside. I'm going to see if I can prop my phone so you guys can still see me, and I hope you can hear me. So if anybody tunes in, I hope that you guys can hear me okay. So, hey, everybody, Kayla Troutman. It is Sunday. My gosh, what's the date? The 27th today. And so I needed some family time this weekend. So that's exactly what I've been doing. And amongst that, excuse me, I know that a bunch of you are brand new. Some of you have been here a while, but you're picking your businesses back up now that your summer vacations are over, all that fun stuff. So I kind of have just a few things I thought I would just go over for a team update. And also tomorrow, I'm going to try to be really aware of this each week. But each week, Carissa and I are going to put together like the weekly plug-in slash know what's going on list on Mondays. So each Monday, you will get a kind of like a Monday summary of our wild tree businesses right now. So what you don't want to miss out on, what you want to know is going on, the week's activities and calls. So like for example, this week there's no Discover Wild Tree. We just did that recruiting event um last Thursday, but we are going to have a coffee chat on Wednesday. So if you have any recruit leads, you're going to want to have them in that group. And Wednesday morning, we'll do a recorded coffee chat that they can check out then, or they can check out later. Hey, whoever just joined me, who joined me? Hi, Laura. Hi, how are you?
Fabulous.
Good, good, good. I was just giving everybody kind of background so if they watch this recording. So I needed some much needed family time this weekend. So I pretty much had no wild tree parties, but I work during nap time or I work when it works for me because I stay current. And so one thing that I've just missing in our team is kind of like a Monday update that like I did last week. I'll do a summary each Monday of all the events going on, like calls, things that you can jump into. I was just saying that maybe you have some recruit leads and we don't have a Discover Wild Tree event this week, but we are going to have a coffee chat Wednesday morning for anybody that's interested. So I'll just be summarizing that each Monday so that as a team we don't miss anything because I know there's a lot of notifications as we grow bigger. So that's kind of that. But what about like as long as you're on here, tell me, is there anything I can help you with specifically?
You know, I have to go back and find, you had mentioned something about hostess coaching, which I
Yeah.
don't even know what that means. I've got to go back and find that post. Um,
Okay.
I, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be looking at my iPad. So if I look like I'm looking off over your shoulders, I don't even know.
Nope. I'm always looking all over and I take notes and things too. So don't worry. I always look all over the place. And I also look kind of messy because I'm going to still get my workout in. We were just at my grandparents' house and they don't care how we look. So this is how I went to my grandma and grandpa. And so now I'm going to get my workout in once we're done. But hostess coaching. So what I mean by that is when we go to a party or once you call a friend and they book an event, right? Whether it's booked for a party or whether you book it via Facebook, whether you meet someone at a vendor event, doesn't matter. The first most precious thing you can do is get them like a message that says, I'm so excited about your party on the 15th. Here are some words you can post on social media or some words you can text out to your friends. And what I usually do is if it's a workshop, we have a real simple graphic that just says like workshop with Wild Tree and it shows you like the 6 steps, like pick a menu, RSVP, shop, prep, come to the party, and I can get that to you. I'll make sure that I think it's in our team page, but I'll just make sure that it's.
Yeah, you posted a link or a section last night that looked like an event, but it
Yeah,
wasn't really an event.
yes, it is an event. It's a fake one, and it's in there for sure. There we go. Perfect. So find that. It's a green graphic. And if it's a workshop, that's what I use. And my words might say something like, hey, everybody, in case you don't know, I've fallen in love with Wild Tree. They're an all-natural food company. I'm hosting a dinner prep party on the 15th. Save the date and comment below if you're interested. Like that's something that I would have my hostess post on Facebook. So that's my first step in coaching her. Hostess coaching is
Okay.
giving her something right away to stay excited and to get her friends excited. So that's the goal. Also, you could word it in a way that if you don't think she's going to post it on social media, but she might text it out to her top 10, you could say something like, "Hey friend, I thought of you because I know how much you love to eat healthy." You know, she could fill that blank friend differently. I'm having a dinner prep party on the 15th with my good friend Laura. She's awesome. Here's kind of what it is. And again, you're sending along that green graphic with it. Let me know if you're interested. And that way she can gauge right away who her yeses are going to be. So that's the first step in hostess coaching as soon as you book a party, getting them something really fast. Then
Okay.
the second step, Laura, is what you just said. And that was going to be one of my things I wanted to say on this recording today is last night I sat down and I made a tasting and a workshop sample invite for anybody that needs some words. Like if you don't know what to put in the body when you first create an event, or you don't know what to post throughout the couple weeks leading up to the party, I just piled it up with posts. I did post them in the order that I actually do put them to go off, but you can chunk it out. Like if you like 3 of my posts, Laura, and you're like, I have this graphic that I found somewhere on Pinterest I like better, do whatever you want. It's not a perfect science. The point is, as soon as I do the save the date, get the person excited, then I want to work on her invite, and then I'm going to coach her how to have a successful party from there. So next is invite. And real quick, if you're taking notes or if you guys are watching this on playback, I love to do a Facebook invite because I think most people are on social media. I love to give something to text or private message. And then if the hostess will use it, I will create an email, but only if she's going to send it out, because a lot of hostesses do not use email. So don't even waste your time. You might even have her ask you, well, would you mail a couple out? Sure. I just mail a 1-page Word document. It's uploaded, Laura, if anybody ever asks you to mail one. I have it uploaded in the file section of our team page. It's like a sample mailer. It's simple, you guys. It basically says so-and-so's having a party. Here's the date. Here's her 3 bundles. Let her or myself know which one you want to do. Like very simple. So that's how I do the invites. And then, Laura, what I meant by hostess coaching is from that point, then it's critical that she realizes that no matter what you post in that event, if she's not tagging her friends and getting them excited, you could post every day for a month the most beautiful, thought out, awesome posts. It doesn't matter. It's not you. It needs to be her. They trust her. Now, granted, when you're having your own party like you've had, then it's a little more you, right? Because you're the rep and you're the hostess. But I'm telling you, this is where most companies, their reps quit, is they have these events on their calendar and they can't seem to get more than 2 people to come. It's not good practice to just think that the invite or the process itself is going to lend to a big attendance. You have to coach your hostess. She just doesn't know a lot of times. She doesn't know the power. And if you're posting in that event, her liking and hearting things, commenting like, I went to a party at Laura's house at the end of July and it was incredible. And I love my meals. Sally, Susie, and Bethany, I thought of you right away because your kids are in every sport possible after school. These meals would be so helpful for you. Things like that, right? So an active hostess, also having her keep asking her top 10 or 20 people. I do reminders. I drive everybody nuts. My hostesses, they think I'm loony, but I tell them you will have a $500 to $1,000 party if you follow my structure, which is send out the invites, participate in the process, and then we do a reminder a week before the deadline and a day before the deadline when it's a workshop. If it's a tasting, we do it a week before the actual event and then the day before and the day of the tasting as well. So just little fun reminders. And if you're looking for words, Laura, if words are not your specialty, as far as what a hostess can send out, that's one of my Thrive Thursday posts I just did in the last month. So you can go back to our team page and search Thrive Thursday, and it says sample words to send a hostess. And I have one in there like a pre-party, day of party. And then everybody always wonders too, how do I get my hostesses to get more orders after the party? Like, how do I get them to not be just like, okay, party's over, I'm done, just tell me what I have in free. I have a message that I asked them to send out to everybody that couldn't come. And it's real fun. It's like, hey, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out the event. We missed you, whatever. The link is below. Let me know if you're interested. Last call kind of thing. Sounds simple, but how many times have we all hosted a party or been to one where nobody really ever followed up with us? Or we were going to go and then we changed our mind at the last minute and nobody ever really came back and asked us if we wanted to buy that necklace we had been thinking about or that makeup or whatever. I really think there's a lot of power in the follow-up message. So, and actually I got to write my note quick because I have a hostess that is like $30 away from credit and I don't know that she sent out the final call follow-up. So I might have her do that today. Yeah, so that's hostess coaching. So it goes all the way through the process, Laura. As soon as you book a party, all the way through, and you don't have to be like you're telling her every day to do something, but you're just being really strategic when you are touching base with her. It's not just like, hey, Laura, how many people do you think you have coming? Well, that's great, but she doesn't know. So a better way to approach it is, hey, Laura, I'm so excited about your party. It looks like you've already got a couple that have said yes on the Facebook invite. How awesome. Hey, here's a message you can send to your maybes and everybody that hasn't responded yet. I know from personal experience that this is where you're going to get the most people to come. So go ahead and send this out. If you're nervous or have any questions, let me know and I can talk you through a simple way to do it. But a text or a PM to all of your maybes and your non-responsive people is going to go a long way. Does that sound okay with you? Always get their buy-in. Does that sound okay? Or are you willing to do that? And if they say no, then I say, okay, do you mind if I post it in the event, but also message a few people who are your top 10 or 20? Otherwise, I don't like to do the messaging because, again, Laura, I don't have the relationship with them. The hostess does, you know. So is that helpful? Does that kind of help you through the process?
Yeah, that makes more sense. So
cool.
I've only ever been to one party before, and so
yep.
I would love to come up there and shadow you if I could.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I would love. Also, too, another thing that I created recently, I got into a group of older hostesses, like people who, when I say older, like she's in her late 50s, but this could apply to even 30s, to be honest. I mean, it just depends how active they are on social media or whatever. She said to me after the party was over, honestly, you're amazing. I love you. I love the party, but I was very confused in the process. You just kept telling me what to do, and I didn't really understand the hostess program, the credits. And I drove home that day, I'm not going to lie. And I was a little offended, like, man, I think I do a damn good job. Like, okay, but I know that she wouldn't just be telling me that, right? Like she obviously was. So I created that afternoon just a 1-page Word document. And since I've done this, my hostesses have loved it. So that's in our team files of our team page. And it basically says step 1, pick a date. Step 2, what are your goals? Are you having a party because you like to have parties? Are you having a party because you like free? It's very simple. And you're going through this with the hostess. Step number 3, I'm going to create your invites. You're going to invite 40 people. Here's why. It explains to them the statistics. Step 5, we'll talk about snacks as it gets closer. It's 10 steps, very simple. It even says on there, we need to get bookings and outside orders together. That's how you get the most credit. So it leads to a very successful party. And at the bottom, I put the little hostess rewards chart. So every hostess knows how simple it is. And what I've been finding, Laura, is when I have those printed in my bag or in my purse and someone books a party, I can take one of my colored pens. You can see I'm like a colored pen freak. And I can circle the $500 range. That's where she gets the 20% back and free. So at $500, it's $100. Who doesn't want to try for that? Almost every wants to try. So that's another tool for you too. And honestly, I have been finding great success with that. So, so there's that. Is that helpful?
That's great. And I wanted to give you also kudos. The other day you talked about your calendaring system and everything.
Yeah.
And at the time it didn't even click with me. And now my calendar is filling up and I'm going, okay, where did Kayla say that? Where did she say that? Where did she say that? I've got to find it because I'm going to lose my mind. I literally have 4 follow-up calls this week because people want to book in September, but they couldn't talk today. And I'm like, is this happening? Is this really happening to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's happening.
Yeah. So that's really good. That's good too, Laura. Let me go over that if you don't mind. So that's awesome. So I love that you're setting up follow-up. So to anybody watching this, right away I was like, Laura, did you book those dates right away? And she's like, well, I tried, but they weren't ready, but I'm set the follow-up up. That's critical because honestly, in my world, I don't count it as a booking until it's at least tentatively dated, even if it's penciled, just because people are people, we're human beings. And sometimes you leave the party, life happens, and it's no longer sounds fun to have a wild tree party. So way to have the follow-up set up, because if you think they're going to call you and you just wait for them to call you with their September date, it just won't happen. And it's not because they don't love Laura. It's not because they don't love me. Life just happens. Something else is more important. So that's great that you said that. Also, calendar wise, if you're watching this, I think this is a great tip. Be strict. This month, the only reason I ran around like seriously a kangaroo, literally like with losing my babies, I have no idea. It was insane. was because I was making up for some lost ground in the spring. I personally worked less in the spring than I would have wanted to. I didn't book parties as solidly as I should. I had cancellations and I didn't replace them. So long story short, in our business, we see a 30, 60, 90-day cycle. What you do now, you're actually going to see 90 days-ish or so later. So bottom line is I kind of slacked in the early spring and I was seeing that in early summer then, like I guess the lack of rewards from my lack of work. So I vowed to work harder all summer so that my fall would be epic. And lucky for me, a lot of people actually wanted August and September. Like you're saying, Laura, my September is looking pretty solid too. And October is filling in very nice. So, but that came from me setting down in May and June and saying, okay, ding dong, like you could have been working a little bit harder in February, March, April, as far as booking. So just know in your heads that it's a 30, 60, 90-day cycle. If you don't feel like right now your calendar's full, if you work like Laura is consistently doing parties, getting them booked, do the follow-up, do the work, you will have a full calendar to what you want it. So also be strategic with that. I mean, I have my calendar open and you guys can see it. This is August. All the green is wild tree. Lots of wild tree. That's not normal. Like I don't normally do that. I have no regrets. It's been a fabulous month. But a more normal month looks like this, where you guys can see it. Well, and I'm going to New York to launch the New Jersey team. So there's a weekend where it's all wet green, but I mean, this is much more manageable. There's a big break in the beginning of the month because of Labor Day. I don't work that weekend really. And then it's a much more manageable calendar. That's normal for me. So set your days now that you want to work and then get some highlighted system like highlighters or get colored pens or get something. I have to say I am falling in love with the pen system. So as the months go on, you guys are going to see less highlighter in my calendar because it looks overwhelming. If a customer was to see my calendar, they would think, oh my gosh, the only reason she's good at Wild Tree is she works like a crazy woman. And it's actually not the truth. I could do far less events and be very successful here still. I just have bigger goals than that. So I'm going for bigger rewards. So long story short, I'm going to just do writing my stuff in green for Wild Tree, writing my son stuff in dark blue, writing my stuff like hair, whatever. And that way I can erase it and there's not these big highlighter marks and whiteout. So these are like $7 on Amazon. They last a really long time. I mean, if you guys have an office supply store by you, they're probably even cheaper. Although maybe not. Our Staples store is expensive. So I just use Amazon a lot because if I go into a store, I spend 3 times as much going down the school supply aisle buying paint and glue sticks that I don't need. So seriously. I mean, for like paper towel now and stuff, we're using those Amazon buttons because we worked it out. And me not going to Target, getting a coffee, buying Windex that I didn't need, but it was on the end cap on sale. It's actually cheaper just to push the button and have it arrive on our doorstep. So we're doing a lot.
I live so rurally that Amazon is the only way to go. Our local Staples, which was 45 minutes away, just closed. The
Holy
next nearest one is like 2.5 hours from me.
Wow. How far are you from Katrina and I?
I don't know. I haven't mapped it. You're in
Fond du Lac.
Yeah, I'm going to map it real quick because I don't know.
Okay. Because maybe we'll plan October or something down by you guys, a launch in your area.
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. It's so
roughly 8 hours away.
Okay. Well, that's not so bad. So how did Katrina came that far to a party, or you came up like you met, like were you driving up?
She had a party down here. She knows, and she's connected somehow relationally to a friend of mine, Julie.
Okay. We should, Laura, put this on your homework. You should message her and I, and we should find out what her school schedule looks like, because there must be a time when she would have like maybe a Friday, Monday, you know what I mean? Like, because it's going to go around her school schedule. But if she could get this far, I could drive us the rest of the way, or her and I could trade off driving, and we could come and do a launch in your area like I'm doing in New Jersey. So then what we do is we kind of set up fun, like we get your team rallied and we work to grow your team really fast. So Tammy and Gloria are doing this out in New Jersey right now. They're sharing the opportunity like crazy. And we do a big, like a launch day where everyone in the area comes for a free meal. It's kind of like a big tasting. And then we also work to get interested leads there. And then when I'm there, I do a live team meeting too for any of you guys. So it's a really fun, like jam-packed day or two, depending how long we can stay. But it's really fun because it kind of boosts you if team leader is a goal of yours, or even if it's not, it just boosts your team growth because it gets everybody excited to know that the leadership team is coming, you know, and it's just fun. So write that down and let's see if we can coordinate, because I have actually a lot of free time. I mean, a lot of free time as a mom, right? But a lot more free time in October and November, because I go back to a normal party schedule. About 8 parties is the most I would do in a month normally. And so then it gets much more where I have a Saturday, Sunday I could run away and come down or whatever. So let's do that. Can you make that a to-do?
Yeah, I will. That's on my list right here.
Okay, wonderful. I'll forget. So I just don't want to forget. So, and to anybody that watches this back, the Arkansas team, anywhere, Idaho, wherever you are, Texas, I know we just grew into, I will come to you if you're growing and you're working it like Laura and you've got a calendar full of parties and your intention is to work it as a business. We will come. We will support you. We'll give you some homework ahead of time, such as getting X number of people rallied, working on building your team, but we will come and we'll support you. And it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to, well, and selfishly, I'm looking forward to going out to New Jersey because for 2 nights, then we're sneaking into New York City. I mean, who wouldn't be excited to respond? Yeah, we need a little break. So, okay, so we did a little bit on calendar and just be real strategic, you guys. If you know in your heart you don't want to do parties on Sundays, for 2 years, I never did a party on a Sunday. For 2 years, I never worked a Wild Tree Sunday ever. And I still was successful. Yes, I had a few hostesses that never ended up booking with me. But guess what? One of those very same people who never booked with me during that season eventually called me and she took a Friday night. And now through that group, that West Bend, Wisconsin group, Heather's on our team. I met Heather and she now services that group and she can do all the Sundays in the world if she wants to. Like, so it just be persistent on when you want to work and know that if the person really wants Wild Tree or it's meant to be, it'll be. And if you can give a Sunday or like you can flex on it one time and say, I'll do it one time, but then after this, like you either have to join the team and service your customers on Sunday or like this will be a one time only. That's okay too, but just be strict about your schedule. Anything else on calendar? Try to book out as far as you can and realize that like at this point, November, December feels weird to me to book because I am a mom. My life seems like, really, we're talking about that. But honestly, like a lot of times, the further you book out, give them the save the date, you give yourself more time to do the invite. You give yourself more time to hostess coach strong. You give yourself more time to let that hostess truly tell people about it and get excited. But at the same token, it doesn't mean that you can't do what Katrina did. She met people 2 weeks ago and she had a party today from that. Like she literally, we can do drop-in things or we can do far out planned things. The best feeling in the world though is walking into like, we're in the last week now of August. I know my September and October are feeling awesome. That's the best feeling in the world. I always say if you can leave a month and feel like your next 2 months are like stacked up, and of course I still want to add things. I'd love to add some Facebook parties. I'd love to add another vendor event. But for right now, I'm feeling like I'm feeling nicely and I'll keep working at it. Does that make sense? Laura, you're the one that can say yes. Anybody that's watching the recording, just shake your head. Okay, what else, Laura? What else can I help you with? Anything else for you?
Right now, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm very excited. I have hard calendared my follow-up calls too. So like, even though they haven't pinned on an actual date yet, I have dates and times for when I'm going to follow up with the call. So that's kind of exciting too, is to learn how to do more of that kind of thing. And I really appreciate your help.
Yeah, that's huge too, because I think, even for myself, look at it, as I was talking to you, I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not tell that hostess to do that one last reminder message with the link? It's easy if you don't have it somewhere to like forget about it, I guess. And honestly, I don't know why she slipped my mind, but that's potential. What if I have her send that message out and she gets another $300 yet this month? That's like huge for my sales. So just always having a plan. Another thing I brought out here, and not because of this call, but because it does help me, is I keep this at my keyboard in my office, and it's just like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's color coded. And I jot on the immediate things that have to get done in the morning. So like today, I only have 2 things I have to do. I haven't ordered fall inserts yet. That's really crazy. So I need to get those ordered because they have, yes, have all of our catalogs stay the same, but our fall inserts have all the pumpkin stuff. And seriously, our pumpkin pie cheesecake blend and our new holiday spice bread, stuff like that, it sells really well in the fall. So if you can get, as far as parties go, the holiday spice bread is expensive to serve because it's only a one-time serving. So every time you buy it, you're using the whole box. But our pumpkin pie cheesecake blend is a blend and you're only using a portion of it to serve as a dip at a party. So I like to do that. And it also makes a Starbucks latte without all the chemicals. We have a recipe for that. Yeah, so really seriously, so fall inserts are major on my list to do. And then also I have a customer who ordered a queso skillet on accident, and she wanted to know if I would swap her, if I would order a lasagna and trade. And I said, absolutely, if you'll come to my house and do it off my porch so I don't have to leave, sure thing. So like that is today's. And then for Monday, it's that I need to set up in my email, this might help some of you. Many of you guys know that I use SynShare to do my Facebook stuff. SynShare is a Facebook program. You also can do it for free through Facebook now if you have a group. But many of us are using events for our parties, right? You're setting up an event for a tasting. So the reason I did those sample events last night, they're called sample tasting or sample freezer meal workshop in our team page, which you guys can say you're going to, and they're going to be good till Christmas. The reason I did those is many of you want to set up SynShare, where you create your event and then you go into SynShare and you literally set up all the posts to go off over the next couple weeks. So you could copy what I have and then you could paste it in SynShare and set the time you want it to go off. I do that to make my life smooth. So this is what my process looks like. Book a party, send her the little like, get excited, yay, tell all your friends, here's a graphic. In the meantime, I'll get you your invites by Friday. When I sit down to do the invite on Thursday or Friday, I do the Facebook invite. I give her a little text message to send out and I ask her if she wants an email. I coach her to get 40 people there, and Laura, I send her that Word document I was talking about. And then she's basically done, because the next thing I do is I go into SynShare and I set up all the posts to go off right then and there, and I never have to touch that event again. Literally, I even set up the thank you for coming tonight. This is how you order. Here's how you join my recipe club. Friend me on Facebook. I hope I'm more than more than just a service. I hope you see me as a friend. Love Kayla Troutman. It has all my contact information. All that is set up to go off on its own. So the only time I go back to the Facebook event to post is if I think of something fun, or if I see a new graphic that Wild Tree just released, or once in a while in the coming days after the party, I'll want to repost a couple times if she's working hard to get sales. Otherwise, I never go back to the Facebook invite. It's done all in one day. The first time you do it, it'll take you an hour. The next time you do it, it'll take you 40 minutes. The next time you do it, it'll take you 20. And then the last, as you get good, 10 minutes. 10 minutes for the whole process. So you can see why I can do the number of events I do, and it doesn't stress me out. So what I want to do tomorrow is I'm also starting to do this with my emails. There's a free service called Boomerang. It doesn't cost anything if you have a Gmail account. And it lets you set up the emails. So I'm starting to set up ahead of time. You guys are going to think I'm really a wacko. The 2 week after the party follow-up email and the 2 month after the party follow-up email. So I go do a party. Let me just walk you through this. I did a party on Friday, let's say. Yeah, that's my dog on the picnic table. Yep. Say Piper, say hi. You're famous. Say hi. You gotta look down this way. There you are. Oh.
Hi, puppy.
Okay. Thank you for the kisses. Okay, can you get off the table now? It's rude. It's rude. Get off. Okay, no, off the table. Not on the. Go this way. Go this way. My God. Okay, Pfeiffer, sit down, seriously. Not on the calendar. Pfeiffer, go off. Get down. She doesn't listen well at all. She's badly trained, real badly. Sit down and sit down. Sit. Down. Lay down. Okay, fine. Lay down right there. That's perfect. Okay. So I go to a party on Friday. Up until that party, I had used SynShare. All these beautiful posts go off in the Facebook event. I coached the hostess. She has an amazing party. The thank you post went off last night, but now what to do with that party, right? There is some follow-up on the back end that I have seen that works. The first thing is making sure you send a thank you email within a couple days, just saying, thank you. I already posted thank you in the Facebook event, but I love to say it one more time via email. I want you to have an open line of communication with me. So here's my contact information again. It usually just says, don't forget to look up recipes on our app or on my website, that kind of stuff. Like just a really nice thank you for coming to the party. And don't forget, you're welcome to book. Laura's party is still open until this Friday, or whatever it is. Then that's all they're going to hear from me unless they join my recipe club and they start to get my notifications until 2 weeks after the party and 2 months after the party. So it's within 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. It's a 2-2-2 system. Very simple. And so those other 2 emails I'm starting to just set up now automatic in Boomerang. So to give you an example, I kind of forgot I've been playing with this. And so yesterday I was checking my emails. I'm like, gosh, where are all these people replying back to me? And then I realized it was from a party I did like at the end of July. And I set up the follow-up to go off and they were replying to the email. And I was like, this is awesome. So like, I'm totally going to do that when I sit down after a party and I close it out with the hostess and I know everything is closed. 2 weeks from that day, I'm going to set up an email to go off, and 2 months from that day. And they're going to be very simple. Hey, Julie, checking in, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Julie, wanting to check in now. It's been 2 months. Do you need more meals? And actually, I'll probably do it still as the group, so it won't say a name. It'll probably just say, hey, friends, It's been 2 weeks since you should have got your shipment now from Sally's party. Like, tell me what you're cooking. Don't forget to join my recipe club. God's blessings, Kayla. Super simple. And then the 2-month follow-up will be, hey friend, how on earth has 2 or 3 months gone by at this point? Checking in because you should be out of your freezer meals by now. Who's going to be the next hostess? Below are my open dates. And if that doesn't sound good to you, here's my shopping link. Click on workshop kits, order one for yourself, and, basically do DIY or DIY.
DIY, yeah.
Yes, do it yourself, basically. So, like, that's the gist, right? So that they know that I care about them. But the truth is, in my daily caring about them, I've already had that done now for a while. So that's what I have on for Monday, is that I'm going to keep doing that. I started it, but to be honest, I kind of forgot I had started doing this. And now I finally saw the reward. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're replying to me and saying, Kayla, we love the meals. Or Kayla, you talked about a blackened chicken recipe at the party. Could you send that to me? That means I'm fostering a relationship I formed at a party. And those are the people that will become Wild Tree users for life. So that's why the email follow-up is still important, even if you don't feel like you're getting a big response. But having them on social media and the email and just being structured with it is awesome. And then what happens after the 2 months? They're in a binder, and about every 6 months, when your customer base is smaller, I'd like to say every quarter, you're probably going to shoot them a real quick text that just says, hey, it's Laura. I'm having my next workshop at my house on this day. Just checking to see if you're interested. Here's the link. Very simple, but you could fly through that with a customer base in the beginning. Mine now is where, honestly, like twice a year, I get through the whole thing. I wish I could do it more often, but it's just not feasible. But they're getting my monthly newsletter from Wild Tree. They're in my club, yada, yada, yada. So is that helpful?
Yes, it is. Because I didn't even know that something like Boomerang existed. So,
yes. And nobody on our team really knows I'm doing it except for Jess Huffman, because in conversation the other day, I was telling her I'm using it, and I just thought of her because she had done a bunch of vendor events. That's a perfect vendor event way to follow up. Once you touch them all personally the day after the vendor event or 2 days after, then you can bucket their follow-up. Just always blind copy them, obviously. Don't ever put them in CC
right.
or because that's just rude. I mean, we all know that. That's spammy and yucky. But if you put them in BCC and you want to say, it's been 3 weeks since the vendor event out at blah, 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 blah. Oh my goodness. Like, you guys, I had such a fun time that night. I wanted to follow up again. For those of you that haven't bought anything yet or tried Wild Tree, what would it take? Does free shipping sound good to you? Click here, place your order, and I'll refund your shipping. Or, just different things. But it's such an easy way to send out. You could send it out to 300 people if you needed to, or whatever it is. So I just had told her about it, and then I thought, you know what? It worked. I tested it out and it's working. I need to start doing this too. Because for those of you that want to build a business here, these are all ways that very simply, you're at your desk anyway, closing out a party. Why not quick pull up your Gmail, do the 2 week later, throw the emails in, hit, Boomerang, and then do the 2 months later, throw the emails in, and then you're literally done with that stack of surveys. You can file it away. And I didn't bring one out here, but in case you want to know this, I use a 3-wing binder that's this size. It's a small size, where like the big one would be. Oh, this is my planner. And I just put them by date, by hostess. So the hostess is on top, and all the surveys from that night go underneath. And then I staple them and I 3-hole punch them, and they're all in a binder by date. And then if someone books, they get pulled out. So for example, like here's my I keep them in my planner. So Amy's booked for November. So I pulled her out of the party that I met her at. She'll become the top of her own stack at her party. But in the meantime, them in my calendar. That's what I do. So here's all my October ones. If they don't have a survey, like this girl I met at a vendor event, she placed an order. So then I just have an order form instead. Whatever it is that tells me who it is. And if I don't have anything for them, I actually just take these yellow sheets of paper and I just write their name and address and the date and I stick it in there. I don't know why, but I need something in the month kind of as almost like a placeholder that these people are having a party, and then that becomes the top of the stack of my binders. And in case you want the follow-up video, I know if you search Tuesday tips, and I think if you search 222 with dashes in between, I did a video on my 2-day, 2-week, 2-month system, and it does show my little binders that I used. I used to do the little binders actually as a gift for doing your Dream Big Action Plan or your contact list. Now I just do a gift card because it's easier to just email off a free gift card than it is to send binders to everybody. I was having to go to the post office and stuff. So it's just streamlining. But I used to send those little binders out. But you can find them on Amazon cheap. You can buy like 5 or 6 in a pack, I think, for less than 20. And then you have them for months to come. Or, I do it by quarter. So January through March, April through June. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
reminds me, I need to get you my Dream Big stuff for the month of September. I still need to mail that to you.
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
send it to you.
I love seeing people's goals. When you have a goal, you work more strategic, you work more structured for sure. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say in this call. If you're watching this and you're wondering what to do next, and you need help booking events, let me know. But the main thing is asking people, literally just asking them now that school's coming up. I promise you're going to get a better response. So go back to anybody that said no to you this summer or that you haven't asked yet and start asking them now, because September, October, November, you'll get a better response because fall, pumpkins, coming indoors, widow's weekend and hunting. Keep naming off reasons and the list grows. This is why our biggest sales are going to come. Typically, you're going to see the biggest spike October and then again in January. Two huge spikes. Like traditionally, you're looking like this. Like spring is still kind of high, and then summer can be kind of low in June and July. August creeps, September creeps, October's huge. Depending how you work your November, December, you can stay huge. I typically stay pretty consistent. January is always like a $2,000 uptick in sales from my norm. So if I'm normally selling $4,000 a month, I usually sell $6,000 in January. Just to give you an example. And then, February stays strong, March stays strong. And then, like I said, April, May, June kind of just tank back into what I would call normal. And it's not that it's bad. My coach is really working with me on realizing it's not that it's a bad time to do wild tree. It's just harder because people's brains cannot grasp that they still need to eat at the campground. They still need to eat when it's like the last month of school. They still need to eat over the 4th of July. It's just different, right? It's just different. So yeah, there's my little spiel on that. But we're getting there. We're making change around here. So yeah. Anything else, Laura?
No, I feel like I've monopolized your entire conversation, but I
No,
appreciate.
but I think this is great. Like I knew I was free, and I knew if you're brand new and you're like, gosh, I don't know where to start. It's so simple. You need events, and you need to be getting people excited and coming to your events. So working on not only booking your own launch and inviting, but you have to simultaneously be booking your friends too. Like you need to be doing both. And then working on getting your recipe club or your private group up and running and using Wild Tree's script. It's uploaded to our files of our team page and graphics. Start using a script. If you don't have all these recipe ideas like I do at this point, it's okay. You haven't lived Wild Tree for 3 years like I have. Use the script. Talk about what freezer meals look like. Talk about what fresh meals look like. Steal recipes from me. Join my recipe club. Take them from me. Obviously personalize them. Yes, don't use McCully's name or Pfeiffer's name, but you get the gist. Like that's where you need to be first, is booking events, rocking out your launch party, and growing some social media following. Because every time you do a party now, you're going to try to add all of those guests you meet into your recipe club and get them into your database so that they're getting the company email, but they're also seeing you on social media every day if possible. So that'd be my best advice for a newbie. Now I will shut up and stop talking. Does that help? Okay, awesome.
Very helpful.
Wonderful. I'm gonna go load this to YouTube because I'm sure it'll help somebody. I'll upload it to our page. I'm gonna go get a workout in, and then I'm gonna get back to doing the couple of things I need to do today. And thank you, Laura. I'm gonna reach out to my Facebook hostess and see if she can get a couple more orders, because I'd love to see her get some hostess credit. So yay! And
Great.
if you think of anything, you reach out. Okay, let me know.
I will. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thank you to anybody who watches the recording. Have an amazing Sunday. I really want to take a nap. It's gloomy here in Wisconsin. I don't know what your guys' weather is, but it's gloomy
We
here.
got sunshine over here.
Yeah, look at yours. Yeah, we've had, I wanted to sit outside just to get some fresh air, but we've had gloomy weather for days. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it'll pass, but I think it's supposed to be like this all week. I know.
It's the lull. Mother Nature's going to come back with a vengeance, and everybody's going to grill out in September.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Okay, bye, friend. We'll talk soon. See you later.
Later.